Well, good afternoon on the 7th of August 26. I was speaking to the camera earlier on from Crieff Cemetery regarding the updates I was making in regards to the Taylor Park scenario and also to Ossie and Stone in the Small Glen. But I was in the house, quite chilly at lunchtime, and the wind was very gusty, and but the sun's well, the change in the temperature has risen a few degrees just in a few hours, so very pleasant. But that's not my stomach rumbling, it's the wind, it's very stormy. I've got my window open about 0.7 centimetres, just to allow a little bit fresh air. So the landscape's changing since I last held my camera in this direction. I didn't load it, I can't remember what I was talking about, but it probably was irrelevant. But I couldn't be bothered being in the house, there's plenty to do, but I thought to myself, let's get out. In fact, once again, I was sort of stalled by, I'm getting a bit fed up with the Radio Nangel. They've changed a lot of the schedules. They're becoming very woke as well, because it's a BBC organisation. Although they allow the girls to do their own thing, they've still got that agenda to follow, and I'm quite sure if you listen to it and translated it, it would just be the same waffle as you get on other BBC stations. But that said, it's the music I tune in for, and because they've changed a number of the schedules, which I have phoned Stornoway and complained, but they haven't done anything about it, including the piping programme. Crieff or something it's called, said they've changed it from Wednesday afternoon to a Thursday afternoon. Sorry, wrong way around. Changed it from a Thursday afternoon to a Wednesday afternoon for the omnibus edition, and I said it doesn't suit me. And also they got rid of the Wednesday afternoon and Sunday afternoon glue it's called, which is the Gaelic classical hour, and that's been gone for some time now, so I'll keep chasing them up. So I thought today I'm doing some gentle thought stuff, food preparation in the kitchen, and I says I don't want to listen to depressing Gaelic music in the afternoon, because I think that schedule between 1:30 and 3:30, I think it's specifically designed for people that spent the lunchtime in the pub, and the across the Gaelic region, across the wherever Radio Nangel is obtainable, whoever listens to it. But I think they come into the house and the radio's either still on because they're half pissed when they left the house to go to the pub, or when they return it's switch it on and it's this music of, well, it put the sleeping giant to sleep further. It would. Oh, that wind is very gusty, but we are up here in Amulree, aren't we? So, yeah, it's a very typical sort of day. But it's a wonderful day to be on the mountains, actually. If you're not exposed to that wind, because it would be quite cooling, especially at height. Nevertheless, it's a very, very pleasant day to be outdoors. So I've come up here for a little bit wander. I'll park up in Glenquake. I'm going to go to the church today. I'm going to go for some prayer and cook. And this road was particularly busy today, but it's not due to any A9 accidents, I don't think. It's just a lot of holidaymakers cutting about, and well, we've got the bank holiday at the end of August. But what I was going to say, and more specifically, was I turned off Radio Nangel and I switched on an old favourite, BBC Radio 3, for the lunchtime concerts. It was quite an extensive concert. I had to leave at mid-term, but it was Dvorak's Symphony No. 7 in D minor. It was absolutely enthralling. I thought it was very, very good. I'm not very up on Dvorak, to be perfectly honest. I have listened to some of the music. When was it he came? He was a Bohemian. I think he was born in the 1840s or something, but he was by the turn of the century had passed. I think it was 1904 or something. He died. What was he, Andy? He's Austrian. Well, I don't know. Before the First World War, it was the big empire, wasn't it? The Hungarians and Austrians and bloody Germans and all the rest of it. I think he was either a modern day Romanian or he's a modern day bloody Czech or something like that. I don't know. But the symphony was very, very good. And we also had, looking at these sheep, I thought there was something wrong. Just maybe my eye glanced over, I thought there was an animal in amongst the sheep, but it's not. Yeah, we had some Schubert, and that was very delightful actually when I was peeling my potatoes. It was one of those Aries quartets, and what was it called? Death and the Maiden Quartet, I think it was called. Don't quote me on that. I think that's what it was. But that was just a long playing of violins, the plucking of violins, the stretching of the bow across the strings, the plucking. Nothing too adventurous, just very gentle. Very soothing violins, to be perfectly honest. And then we sort of finished. I think when I had to leave, the Zimmerman was meant to come on, but I had to leave, and I left at the point when Ernest Chausson was doing his. Well, it wasn't him doing it, but the BBC Symphony Orchestra, I think it was, were doing a bit of Ernest Chausson. French, born into a well-to-do bourgeois family. I don't know where, I can't remember, but he was a famous French composer. Not particularly well known, but I quite like like Chopin and who else, Andy, that you like? Brahms. I've mentioned Brahms before. Edgar. Edgar, yeah. I was just thinking about the bourgeois family, and that was a sort of difference in the poor people, the proletariat, and the well-to-do middle class and upper class. So you can see we've always had that issue of division. Those who can socially adequate, socially well-funded, always got access to finance. I mean, look at these people with their bloody Range Rovers and Audis, or was that I can't see it from here. No, it's a VW. It's a VW Touran or something, Touran or something you call it. But these people are probably about £250,000 in debt. but it doesn't bother them. They keep spending more. I don't know how they keep getting off the hook with it all. I'm not sure what happens with the financial situation in regards to the middle classes, but I got a feeling that they're allowed to keep borrowing. If you're of a lower stature in life, then you don't get anything, and if you do get anything, it would be on a very strict, well, it would probably be in a what do you call it? Impossible terms to pay back high interest rates and all sorts. But the middle classes seem to get the money thrown at them. Aye, there'll be no porridge for you, Angus. A very good evening on the 8th of August 26. It's the Lionsgate Day. Leo the Lion 0808. It's the Lionsgate Day. And I'm at Glen Turret Distillery, obviously, Glen Turret. And all the barrels are all out, and I think the whiskey's pretty much been stewing away quite well for a number of weeks. And then there'll be fresh batches made, of course, with the new grain stock. So we've got some peace and quiet. The machines are all switched off just now. A very different place from during the day when all the people are milling around and all the tours and all the, the Swiss and the Germans, the Dutch, and of course all the, I don't know where these tour people come from. Is it Edinburgh maybe? I don't know, but I'm not sure how much they pay to get here, but probably quite a small fortune, I reckon. And then of course we've got the Lalique restaurant, which is, well, it must be closed this evening because it's very quiet all around. I dare say that even the wealthy don't have any money to splash out on the 5-course dinners at the moment. £800 a head or something. I passed through the town of Crieff on the way out here, actually, another quick spin around. I had a errand to go to. I passed a couple of the pubs, and I couldn't believe it. The doors are open. There's about 3 people in the pub on 2 of the pubs that I passed, and I honestly thought to myself, gee whiz. I wind the clock back, well, a couple of decades, not even that, Eddie. Just turn the dial back a few years, and there's crowds of people all out standing, smoking cigarettes, and if you made your way into the pub, you can't get to the bloody bar. Squeezing past people, excuse me, half pissed, knocking a pint into you, spilling some on your elbow. But you didn't mind, because you knew you'd be in that state later on with somebody else. It's the end of the comedy fortnight tonight. I also passed there today. I was a bit of a restless mood today. I was going to travel to the Abershire. Goodness, I thought you'd be back to speaking normally, Annie. The Mercury retrograde's passed. I was going to head to Aberfeldy Show, but I decided against it. I got as far as Tullybannacha. I was going to take the scenic route and stop off for a coffee at Killin, perhaps some luncheon at the Ben Law's Hotel, but it's a long detour. But I decided it might be a better road than that bloody Glencockle. But I got to Tullybannock, and I looked at the skies and I thought, gloom, doom, and it ended up quite a stormy day actually. upper parts of Strathern, and I went up to Glen Turret for a spin later on in the afternoon. It was wild. It was absolutely terrifyingly wild, and I couldn't be bothered doing any camera work. So it's first week of August is already past us, and this is a sign of things to come, Andy. It's we're never going to get back to that July period where we had those screaming hot temperatures. We might get an Indian summer. There'll still be many pleasant days, I'm sure, but let's not twaddle on about bloody weather. Eh? What else have you got to report to us? Nothing. We'll just switch the camera off and shut up. I thought I'd take this spot because it's unusual to get a parking space at this end. It's normally designated for tours only. And the parking bay that I've got, which is facing this way, is almost non-existent. Because someone's normally got the tail end sticking over onto it or something. I've missed the whole. I was looking forward to Aberfeldy show. I thought I've not been last year, and I thought I'll go up this year. And it's another year to wait. And when I was at Glen Turret, I saw some of the vintage tractors being towed, and that was only at 3 o'clock. So I thought, well, maybe they'll shut shop early or something. I don't know. Maybe quite a dismal day up in Strathty with the wind howling in from Loch Tay off the mountains at Glenlyon and stuff. Yes, it's not a place to be, that part of Strathty, when you could have severe westerly wind blowing. But thinking about the whole aspect of people not being able to afford to go for a night out, it's a pretty sad way of doing, actually, for most people in life, that they have to sort of sit and make a calculation on whether it's better to stay indoors and pay the council tax on the Monday, or go out at the weekend and have a real, knees up, a decent knees up, and face eviction from the property for non-payment of a rent or something, or threatening letters for council tax arrears. It's quite impossible for lots of people. I know that lots of people will be glued to the television watching shite, but nevertheless, it's a sad way to live your life as well. In all honesty, it's not a life at all to be constantly staring at a glass box in the corner. Well, Andy, you're staring at a bloody glass box in front of you, and this can't be much of a life for you, sitting here on a Saturday night. Yes, but I think it's much more appealing to me at the moment, and I like the sort of aspect of chatting, but having that ability to shut camera off and enjoy the solitude as well. I don't understand how the pubs can manage to keep the doors open if a Saturday night trade is as lowly as that. I mean, it's only what? That would be just after 7 o'clock. Well, perhaps it's the switch over from the day drinkers to the evening brigade. But always, most pubs, if you were out on Saturday afternoon, you didn't pack up at 5 o'clock, go home. You were out for the day. As I say, when I was a professional drinker, I would be out from opening time until last orders. I can't remember much of it. Not really. No. I think that if you asked anybody about, I mean, for example, the World Cup has was just finished there. What, 2 weeks ago? Was it? 3 weeks ago? The final. Even I can tell you who was in the final. It was Algeria and Argentina. No, it was Algeria and Spain, Andy. Was it? No, I think you're wrong. But what I mean is, I think that if you were actually in conversation with someone, you said, what do you think of the World Cup then? Even though it's sort of old tat news, it'd be quite interesting to bring it up in conversation. Did you enjoy the World Cup? Did you watch most of the games? Oh yes. Who did Norway play in the first game? Oh, never mind. What about Japan? Who knocked them out? I think it could have been. Oh, you don't know. I just can't remember at the moment. And what about Australia? Did they do well? Did they play Canada at all? No, they didn't play Canada. Who did they play? Oh, I don't know. Oh, shut up, Andy, will you? I don't know these questions. But what I'm trying to say is there's people that sit and watch the likes of the World Cup, but if you ask them any questions about a month later about it, they don't know anything. They don't even know who the fuck was playing. And similarly, if you asked anybody about who are enthusiastic about news coverage and glue into the television to switch on the evening news or something, and 6 weeks later you said, you're an avid news fan, what was the situation with this? Well, I don't remember. I didn't know that happened. Well, it was on the news. Mind you, if it was on the news, it was probably a damn lie. So there is nothing happening, Andy. Being the Lionsgate Day, this should be a sort of an opening avenue to anyone who wishes to take advantage of the Lionsgate. They have to be in a position to walk through and start afresh. Difficult time of year to start afresh when the autumn is looming ever closer. Quite often when I'm at Glen Turret, at this distillery car park, I do tend to find that I am the only person on the planet. And it happens in Crieff as well. But when I'm here, when it's quite busy with the people I was talking about earlier in this broadcast that arrive for the tours and stuff, in all honesty, I don't actually think they're terribly real people. They look more like cutouts. sort of like artificial intelligence. There's been an investment by the whiskey firm to make it look busy, so about 25% of the people that turn up here are not real people, they're just robots wandering around. And I'm getting the feeling that's going to be the trend of things in the future. When you have let's say a game of football which has been televised and no one can afford the bloody tickets to get to the match because they're so outrageous. All they'll do is project these faces and bodies onto the stand or onto the seats. It's a very interesting thing I saw the other day ago about this AI. It was a YouTuber who'd been contacted by several of her friends, initially friends, and then more and more people contacted her. She had her own separate channel, I don't know what it was about, but I did tune into what the situation was because people who followed the channel said, do you know there's another channel, it's got your whole background for a completely different subject, and they sent her the link. She was horrified, and the poor girl, she showed the actual room and, behind the camera. And actually we could see the room behind her, I should say, and she went over and says, this is my guitar, this is my couch, this is my window and these walls, and she kept on showing her and this copycat one. And I thought to myself, my goodness, if they can snatch out people's backgrounds and then omit the person who's talking and replace it with a human AI on a different subject, I mean, that's got some pretty worrying connotations attached to it.